Hello, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I love the 5-minute clock. Gives me a chance to get the coffee ready, get the hat on, get some early talk with some of you in here early. I am the Doc, John Macaroon, and this is the Lone Wolves podcast, made possible thanks to OnSI. Got a lot to get to. I don't even know how long I'm going, but like all of you, I will be tuning in to the Bears game. You have to hope for the Packers. We got a lot to talk about, things to clean up, questions already coming in. I love it. Shout out to the early people that were here even before the show started. I love that. Most of the time, you guys know, if you see the comments, I will start commenting. We can have a little chat before the show, the little mini show before the show. Shout out to Big M53, Reversion to the Mean. Duncan was in early. Appreciate all of you. Big M53 was one of the first ones. Brent, Lions Forever. I know what's up with you. Shout out. Hopefully it's a good weekend. Things to clean up. We got things to talk about. I know people have some questions from last week with the Rams regarding the pool report. So we'll talk and knock some things out. Get your comments in. You can talk about anything. You can talk about this comment section is not specific to the banner. You can talk about Michigan State, Michigan not being able to land their guy. Good job, Dillingham. Used Michigan to get a raise. That's how you do it. I like it. I spent just a little hello to everybody. I spent the morning, if you saw, at LCA, got a chance to check out the Spartans in Oakland. It's a competitive contest, and it's always good to see two friends actually coaching against each other. It's unique, and I always like to see, Greg Campy and Tom Izzo sitting next to each other, so it's really cool. It's enjoyable. I always get a chance and a privilege to go down to LCA to watch Michigan State basketball. Nice crowd, 15,000 people, good energy. Got to see Michigan State against the zone, and I got to go check out my video of the question I asked Greg Campy. You know it's a good question when Tom Izzo rolls his eyes like, I can't believe he asked it. Greg Campy's like, the man's sitting right next to me. But hey, no cupcakes. I asked Greg Campy, so you just prepared for Tom Izzo? You played Tom Izzo's team? Can Tom Izzo win a championship? He's like, dog, he's sitting right here. But Greg Campy, professional. But look at Tom Izzo in that video. He's rolling his eyes like, I can't believe this guy. But Tom, I'm an alum. That's what we want to know. I want to bring some knowledgeable information to the people. So hopefully everybody got a chance to enjoy the early start. I, got a chance to enjoy it. And then tonight I'm going to be, like all of you, rooting for the Packers. It sucks. You got to root for the Packers to win. I'll tell you why and share a little highlight of what I did on, if you got a chance, check me out in the sports office. Early review from Reversion to the Mean was I did a good job. I thought, I'm not going to lie, guys. I like the lights. I think, I was telling my friend, I said, man, I don't want to do TV. I like doing video and podcasts and the comfort, but I really enjoyed the lights, man. It was cool. It was fun. You can check it out. I posted a link. Reversion to the Mean 6129. Damn good showing on Fox 2, Doc. Next stop, Takeover 97.1 for Valenti. No, man, he's the king of the castle. I like being in control of the operation, but it would be great if an opportunity ever presented itself. But so far, so good. I can fire it up whenever I want and talk about any kind of topic in the way that I would like. So we'll see if Doc ever goes corporate. But I will never forget any of you. Promise. You guys better be, this crew of people on the YouTube better be the first ones calling up if I ever get blessed to land a radio show or even get a chance just to show up in their studio. It would be an honor. But I'll never stop podcasting. Never. You have my word. And you blow up the phone and say, hey, Hollywood, you told us you'd never stop podcasting. I will never stop doing content for the early people that supported me on YouTube, podcasts, ever of Everdom. That's the home base. That's the origin. That's the loyalty you give, is that, hey, you can have a big time radio show. You still give the people an hour or two of your time every single week. Check it out. I did the sports office. I'll give you my take from the Bears. My quick take that I gave, clearly that you have to have the Bears lose. You can't catch Seattle. You're realistically not going to catch the 49ers. They have to lose all their games. The only two teams realistically you can catch are the Bears and the Packers, as it should be. So I want to clean up something for a great listener, Brent DeWitt. Shout out to Brian L. Great to see you. I'll get to your comment. Always enjoy seeing you here. It does make me happy, truly, to see the same faces. It truly does. And even if you don't catch a live show, drop a comment. Hey, Doc didn't catch it, but hope you're good. I hope all of you are good that are here. I'm happy to see all of you and enjoy talking Lions with you and getting your thoughts. Again, part of my day is good when when I get a chance to talk Lions football. And we're going to talk about today's show. First and foremost, smash the like button. That's how you support me free. You can become a member, get the emojis, get video, get member only content that I'll drop nuggets. Like you guys knew that there was a little bit of a setback with Kerby one day before Dan Campbell said it, based on what had happened in our interaction with Kerby Joseph. And we'll give you on-demand videos that you can watch, and we'll do continuously more and more. We almost got 100 members. That's really, really cool. And so Brent DeWitt had a comment regarding pool reports. Here's how it goes. Brent DeWitt, before we get into our topics. Today, we're going to talk about Kerby Joseph, David Montgomery, J-Mo. Is Aiden generational? A future Hall of Fame quarterback? Think so. But I think the fan base needs a little bit more convincing regarding the future potential of Aiden Hutchinson. We got to talk about the future of David Montgomery. And we're going to talk about also Jameson Williams. You got to give flowers. Dan Campbell said he's proud of him. We can't just complain here. We got to give players that are playing well their flowers. Jameson Williams, everybody complained about his maturity early. Now he's starting to showcase that he's a professional, and it's really cool. In and out of the community, he's doing a great job. You got to give him his flowers. He's producing, and it wasn't me this time that I am the first reporter that got Amon-Ra St. Brown to say, please stop asking about J-Mo. That was like 7-8 weeks ago. Another reporter got a J-Mo question in, and Amon-Ra gave the same answer. Another J-Mo question? But I think that he's not catching on to the gist of it. We have to lock in as reporters to the specific question of what J-Mo's doing well. But Dan did. Dan Campbell did. The in and out breaks, the ability to anticipate, getting into his spot at the right time so Jared Goff can get him the football. Dan revealed what we kind of want to hear from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Get your comments in about anything. If you have a take about the Pistons and the refs, the Wings winning, whatever, we can talk about anything here. It's a free-flowing show. It's not specific to the topic. It's always going to be Lions-centric, heavy, but I got takes about everything. You guys know that. And if you have a question, a thought, a comment, share it. You can just say, shout out to the Pistons for winning. Hell, they're 21-5 or whatever the record is, 21-6. Yeah, that was awesome. It was awesome. So, Brent DeWitt, sorry to keep you waiting. Hey, Doc, could you explain the ref pool report requirement? No pool report request by Detroit Lions reporters on the controversial call? Well, that's where I think you have a little mistake, and I'm glad I can clarify. So, each home team's reporters requested. So, in LA, in regards to, I'm taking it to the Parkinson touchdown, the touchdown that was called a touchdown, even though kind of everybody saw the knee being down and everybody's head was scratching, going, what the hell? Listen, first and foremost, if that's the play you're talking about, give it a thumbs up. But listen, if he was down on the one, maybe we could have got lucky with a little bit of the ball movement being incomplete. But I think from the 1 yard line, realistically, with the Lions defense, I mean, let's do what's fun now. We have a new game to play. Kelvin Shepard math. If the Lions didn't give up 30 points a game on average, they'd have a great defense. If I wasn't 5'4" and a little overweight, I could be a professional athlete. I could be on television. I think the camera likes me. And I'll get a fair judge, brutally honest. I expect when I air a little snippet of what I said on the Sports Office, I want your brutal honesty. If you say, hey, don't you dare go on camera because you're too ugly, just give us the head up, fine. I was comfortable. Woody asked me in the locker room, and I was a little nervous. I got a lot of respect for Woody Woodruff, a lot of respect. Dan Miller, Woody Woodruff, the whole crew at Fox 2. I'm a fan. I'm a super fan. Dan Miller came into my office, did a podcast. So he asked me, and I was like, all right. And so I told my friend who's a director, I said, all right, I'm going into the lights. He's like, okay, don't get hooked. Oh, man, it was nice. The cameras, the studio. I thought I was comfortable. I used the crutch word, which I kind of do, which is absolutely. I got to stop doing that. But that was my first time on a full range kind of television show. But one of many. I believe talent shines, and I believe that we are building something nice here in the community. But you had a good question, Brent. Hey, Doc, could you explain the ref pool requirement? The home team's reporters requested. So in Detroit, the two reporters have been assigned, not me. I cannot be a pool reporter because technically I am not in the Pro Football Writers Association of America. I don't want to pay any dues. I don't know. I'm a fan of unions, but I'm more a fan of me. Work hard, do your job. I don't need a union to tell me anything. I'm me. And John McEnroe dictates his future. I don't need a union to tell me I'm a pro football writer or tell me these are the rules or these are not the rules. So I am not a PFWA member. I don't need to vote for Hall of Fames. Hell, let other people do that. I just go about my business, and I can humbly say I don't have to do a pool report. The two, let's just say, I'll give you a hint. CP and B, they do them for the Lions. If you guys are wizards, you can type them in the chat. Those two young fellas do it, and good for them. So you go, I guess, on the phone, and you have to put in a request. And then I think you got to get it like proofread, or like PR can kind of talk to you about it. I'm like, I don't need any of that. I need to go to work and type and do videos. I don't want to do pool reports, because now you guys see they're embarrassing. Why did you call a touchdown? Because we felt it was a touchdown. You guys see the Pistons pool report? It was 10 words total. Why did you call a tech on JB? Because we felt a technical was needed. I was like, good Lord. So the Rams, listen, I think that for the Rams game, it wasn't called upon because it was explained that in the end, it was felt like they saw it, they got the call, and they made it. So there wasn't going to be a lot of detail. And so sometimes maybe people don't even want to request it. But it has to be done from the opposing, in my opinion. I believe the opposing has to be requested. Now, I think a Lions reporter can go to somebody in LA and say, hey, we have this call. But I feel like the explanation was given so much, I think, on television. Now, I didn't know, but you guys can tell me. I think the explanation was given so much that that's what happened. Hopefully that gives you that. Shepard math. If we take away that deep-plated tight end, we played great. If we take away all the explosive plays, we got a good secondary. Shepard math. If you, we talked about that on our previous show, but that's going to be a bit, I think, forever in Detroit now. Listen, guys, we have a good defense in Detroit. If you take away the fact that, teams are scoring 30 on us and a lot of explosives and our cornerbacks are struggling, I think we're doing good. But I think he took umbrage with the word. See, coaches get because they got to do spin. They get weirded out by certain words and phrases. And Kelvin and Dan Campbell, it happened with me. But with Kelvin Shepard, he got weirded out by the phrase the run defense took a step back. He feels like we got a good run defense. We executed on some plays, but we didn't execute on others. But in the end, the reporter's like, dog, man, Kelvin, the stats indicated you gave up 6 yards on every first down on average. Your run defense took a step back. It wasn't good. But if you take away all the explosives and you take away all the missed tackles, the Lions defense looks good. It's pretty good. If you take away the fact that there's been some struggles, the Lions defense has been great for a decade. Hopefully, Brent, that answers it. But I will never do a pool report. I don't want to talk to the officials on the phone, and I don't want to report back anything. These officials are incompetent. I'd probably start yelling at them. Be like, okay, be professional, be proficient. Listen here, fool. Why do you guys always bone the line? Like, Mr. Macaroon, we cannot air this. Why did you bone the Detroit Lions? We have to kind of remove the word bone. Why did you bone the Lions against Dell? Mr. Macaroon, we were talking about the Steelers game. We cannot talk about the game 5 years ago. Why did you pick up the flag 5 years ago in Dallas? Or 11 years ago in Dallas? I'm still mad. Mr. Macaroon, can you please keep it to this game? Who let this guy in here? Brian L., that means a lot. Hell, I was walking in Disney World listening to you on here. Oh, gosh, I hope you didn't with the family. Please turn that guy off. Please turn that off. Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot. That really does. All right, let's get into it. First topic of the day. Go, Pack, go. Can you guys bring yourself to root for the Packers? The Lions need some luck. You have a chance if the Bears win. If the Bears lose, you have a chance to start to control your destiny and maybe even get in with 2-1. If the Bears win, it makes things a little bit more murky. As of now, I think Christian just dropped it. You can go check it officially. Go check it officially. I'm going to tell Christian to drop it now. He's going to publish it. What the Bears game means for the Lions. Tell him publish now. Can you bring yourself? It feels gross, right? It feels gross to root for the Packers, but you got to do it. You need the Bears to lose. Chief IT Hips, I'm going to get to you in a moment. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm humbled and honored. That means a lot. SW Lion 26. No Parsons. I think the Packers are the underdog tonight. It stinks, right? Parsons is gone. You gotta be able to jump one of the teams. Unfortunately, you're not jumping the 49ers. There's no way I think they lose every game, and they still have a tiebreaker. If you finish tied with the 49ers, they have the better NFC record. That's the tiebreaker. Quick sidebar, Doc, that Jake Paul fight was the biggest scam in sports history. Guys, you have to give it up to Jake Paul. He scammed the community in the whole wide world because he brought entertainment. He made boxing like a WWE style thing, and he made $100 million. Why? Because the sport of boxing truly is marketing. And people want to pay. He made himself a heel, and people want to pay to see. Basically, it was not a scam. There were certain people happy to see somebody whoop his ass. And he took $96 million and he made a couple $100 million to have people hate him. It's genius marketing. But yes, we do feel like suckers kind of falling into that. Oh, that's nice. Lion forever. Why is it so hard for you guys to hit the like button? No, just hit the like button. But a lot of people come from X. Smash the like button if you're here. Please smash the like button for the doc. Chief IT Hips, shout out to you. Hopefully everything is great with you. $4.99 super chat. Super chats are always open. Get to the front of the line. I love some come up blue, some will come up green. Look at that. I'm just going to sit there for a minute and admire it. Lions will roll the Steelers tomorrow. JMO yards, Monty touchdown, and Hutch sack. Book it. Look at that. That's basically, it's like you came in here and read my banner list. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I feel like there's a chance for that, but I also feel like the Lions could also, if the defense can make a tackle, they'd be elite. They'd be the 85 Bears. If Aiden Hutchinson could finish, he'd be better than Myles Garrett. Kelvin Shepard's texting me, Doc, if Aiden Hutchinson didn't get chipped or doubled, he'd have 40 sacks a year. Oh, look, he upped it to Doc, and I'm kidding here, but this is what he would tell me if he did text me back. Doc, if Aiden Hutchinson didn't get doubled, tripled, and chipped, he'd have 94 sacks a year. P.S. Shep math is real. I love it. But he does, guys. We joke around with it, but he has said, we really can't do that. But he's like, really, in the end, if you take away all the big numbers, we've given up 4 yards a rush. But Calvin, you gave up like 9 explosives. Well, sorry. Shep math is now a bit that's going to stick with him forever. If they didn't give up 30 points on average last month, they'd be great. Casey Turner, let's talk ball, get into the details for sure. We're going to talk football. All right. You got to have the Packers win today. And here's what I said. You can check me out on the Sports Office. Here's what I said on the Sports Office. You need clearly this win for the Lions. You need the Bears to lose. That gives you the best chance because you play the Bears. You can tack on another loss. So here's what I said. How did I say it? What's your assessment? Before we talk ball, Casey, I just need your review of me on the Sports Office. What did you guys think? Did I do a good job? Did I look natural? I feel like I was, in a good spot there, was comfortable, but there's a lot of lights. It is awkward for the first time when you're in a studio there and there's a lot of lights and you want to make sure and we joked around. They did tell me, they said, hey, make sure you don't, drop the 4-letter words here. We know about you, macaroon. And I said, okay, yeah, deal. So I'm going to play this. This is what I said about basically why the Bears have to lose. Courtesy of the Sports Office. And this is me talking. This is the intro. This is me talking to Woody Woodruff and his great producer, man. He's a good dude. You're going to have that producer. I'm hoping for Woody Woodruff too on this podcast. They're good people. They do good work. And it's a fun opportunity. Here's what I said when they introed me and talking about why this game is important. It helps. This game helps. And I think Christian also, if you want to read the article, it's on Lions on SI.
If Green Bay can lose 2 out of 3, if Chicago can lose 2 out of 3, if the Lions can win 3 straight, John, that's making my head hurt. I mean, all we really have to worry about is Detroit winning, correct?
Absolutely. win 3 games in a row, and you're over 95% chance to get into the postseason. It's key. Look, but if you are paying attention to the playoff simulators, if you go to Lions on SI and read any of that kind of stuff, make sure you just root for the Bears to lose, because you're going to have to be able to catch one of the 2 teams in the NFC North. And it might be tougher with the Packers, but the Bears, I think, have an opportunity to slip here with their schedule. Unfortunately, that game, man, that wild Thursday game on Thursday night, you needed the Seahawks to lose, but unfortunately they
if Green Bay can lose 2 out of 3, if Chicago can lose 2 out of 3, if the Lions can...
So there you go. How do I look? Natural, good 40 seconds. Now, I'm on there for about 20 minutes. We had ignore the bit at the end that we did there. Did you guys like it? Do I look natural on camera? They zoomed in on a couple other things. I talked Pistons. I said how the refs bone. What do you guys think? Do you think that the Bears will lose tonight? I'm not confident. I like what the Bears are doing. They want revenge. I think the opportunity is there. I think the opportunity is really there. And I guess, you guys know how I am. I think the Lions are going to win against the Steelers, win against the Vikings, and lose against the Bears. That's the ultimate kick in the nuts to see Ben Johnson get a playoff berth at your expense. Hope they prove me wrong. Shout out to Casey Turner, 8232. What do you think? Your opinion just as valid as mine. What do you think about this Lions team in their future? What do you think so far of their season since you're new? What do you think about this football squad, where they're at, the struggles that they've had? Where are they going in your mind? I'm more of a realist, have to be a little more skeptical than most. What do you guys think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we going to cheer tonight? Are the Bears going to lose? Let me know. I'll read some of your comments too. And I think Christian should have, if I got him that message, should have published it. What the Bears game means for the Lions playoffs. That's where we're at. It's important. It helps. It helps the cause as many games as the Bears lose in a row. Now, the news of the day, unfortunately, man, and like I said, I'll get back to, I got to take on the Kerby Joseph situation, and then we'll get to your comments as well. I love it. Casey, you're one of those optimistic fans. I like it. You can provide the healthy balance to what I say. Detroit Lions safety Kerby Joseph placed on IR. What took so long, right? Everybody's like, man, but look, that is a little bit overplayed. The Lions got as many safeties as they needed. They wanted to give it as much of a chance as possible. And also, too, is for the player. People say, just slap him on IR. But also, too, the reason why they don't is the player wants to give every opportunity. Could you imagine if 3 weeks into the injury, they place him on IR, which you're locked in to be out for 4 weeks? Now, Kerby Joseph's season's not guaranteed to be over, but it's like 99% over. Like, you're not going to start him in the wild card playoffs because you need a week to prepare. He's got to be gone for 4 weeks now. So, in essence, it's done. If you even get to the playoffs. So, for Kerby Joseph, imagine you're 3 weeks in, you start to feel better, but you're on IR, and they wanted to give it as many, they wanted to give him as many chances as possible to come back. Kerby loves football. He hates not playing, but he did come back on social media a little bit on Instagram. And I think his process took him a while to deal with the anger, the frustration, the up and down. But from your guys' perspective, did the Lions mishandle it? Should they put him just on IR and say, hey, this is a player that, look, even if he can contribute, what's the risk factor here? Just go with different guys. He's hurt. It's been 5 weeks, 6 weeks. You could have did it 2 weeks ago, but he had a setback just last week. So I'm okay with how they handled it. They wanted to give him every legitimate chance possible, but I am concerned about the future. I am in that camp that says, when Dan Campbell starts to say there's going to be lingering pain for a long time, what does that mean? We got to keep our fingers crossed that procedure, whatever he tries to do to get this situation in the knees done, you got to hope it works out. It stinks. You might only get the 1 year with Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph. It's unfortunate. Do you think the Bears lose? And what are your thoughts on Kerby Joseph? That's the first little portion here of the show. Let's get your guys' thoughts. Shout out to the new member. I appreciate you, Casey. That means a lot. Casey Turner, we aren't losing to Chicago. They've copied our identity with the run game. The only reason why we have 6 losses is from bad run defense. If you take away the bad run defense, you don't have those 6 losses. So technically, Shep math, they're 14-0. But, Casey, what makes me nervous is that game's going to be a running game. It could be a frigid game, right? Their offensive line is a little bit, I think, just a little bit better than yours. Just a little, not by a lot. But I think they're going to be, and also, too, people have said, and we're going to do a roundtable question tomorrow. Have you noticed Dan Campbell changed a little bit? I do think he was a little bit shell-shocked by the fact the Lions were out physical in some of these games. Like, to see his team not win in the trenches against the Eagles, not win in the trenches against the Packers twice, not win in the trenches against, the Rams. That's jarring. Like, that's your identity. And guys, it wasn't close. It didn't look good at all. Like, Aiden wasn't getting home as much. Stafford's getting, it's frustrating when you try to put together a game plan and Stafford just getting the ball out 3 seconds and everybody's open. It's got to be tough. It's demoralizing a little bit. And I do think that the Bears have that chance to also bully you a little bit. I think the Steelers are going to try to bully you too, but not to the degree in which you can't score points and they can't keep up. The problem is going to be is DK Metcalf could have a historic day tomorrow. Please, Lord, don't let DK Metcalf have 300 yards receiving over our receivers, over our secondary. Shout out to you, Casey. I hope to see your comments. Please challenge my thoughts, challenge any notion you want in the comments, live. You don't have to agree with me or the chat. Broski Bear, shout out to you. If Chicago and Pittsburgh win this weekend, the Lions are out of the playoffs. No, only theoretically is if Chicago and Packers tie. It makes it hard, but if the Packers and Green Bay tie and we lose, automatic elimination. That's the only scenario officially. It would be a long shot if the Lions lost, but they still have mathematical chance. The 49ers can lose out. Packers can lose out after the tie. So there's still chances. Still chances. So you're still alive, even with the loss to the Steelers, but it puts you on life support with all the beeps. You basically need the 3 wins. Because if the Bears win, you need help. You need extensive help. And we're going to have it up when Christian publishes it. You'll know exactly what needs to happen. You can find it. Stephen Wright, my cardiologist told me to stop rooting for the Lions. Why do you say that? Stephen, I love it. I was at the Dallas game, had a heart attack afterwards, literally. Right? A game so close that was right there. Stafford did have the chance, though, Stephen. He did have the chance. Chief IT Hips. If the Packers win, then the Lions might be able to lose another game because if the Bears lose to the Niners, then the Lions play Week 18 for the playoffs. Absolutely. You're right on. The 49ers, perfect world, 49ers would lose out. Lions win out. Bears lose. So we'll have it all at Lions on SI, all those scenarios. But just focus, most importantly today, Bears need to lose. How did I deliver that on the sports office? Did I sound natural? They should have zoomed in on me. Broski Bear. Like and subscribe. Thank you. There's 250 people in here. 2 platforms. If you're on X, hit the retweet, like, and here, like the like button. That's awesome. 313 Thug Living. Playoffs? Doc, you're up here talking to the people about playoffs? Are you concerned about Kerby Joseph's career? SW Lion 26. Give Bears their due. Much smarter team this year. They beat Philly at Philly. Right now, they are playing better and more consistently well than Detroit. Do you think they need to go at safety? SW, Casey, do you guys think they need to hit safety in the draft this year? Are you comfortable with Avonte Maddox for another year? Rock Yassin, some of the young guys. Lions forever. Bears can't win a shootout, but it's going to be cold. I wonder what it's going to be like when the Lions go there That's going to be, I do think that game, and I think that's where the Monty talk is going to specify, but I think the unsung hero might be number 5 in Chicago. Tough runs. I think everybody's talking about Monty. He's going to be in the shadows, and then he's going to be unleashed against Chicago. I got a good feeling. Problem's going to be, I think, clearly the Bears, and I do think they beat the Vikings, but it's going to be on 4 days rest. That game might be a Christmas nightmare. That game, I might have to come on afterwards, after I might have some influence of some of the activities. I'm not going to Minnesota. Clearly, my wife would end our marriage. But I might hang out with family, watch the game, come home maybe at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. on Christmas. That's how crazy I am about the Lions. Doughboy Steve, 2 fingers of bourbon for me and Doc. You heard? I will share that it's very cool that I have a new bourbon to try. Maybe like let the statute of limitations pass, and I'll tell you where I got it from. I think you can kind of surmise maybe where I got it from, but I've never had it. If you've had it, I'm going to actually I'll try to summon it here to get on the stream, and then you can tell me if you've had it before. It's $55. It was gifted to myself and some others, but I'll wait a couple weeks and I'll tell you where I got it. I'll see if I can get it in here. So it's nice. I might try it tonight after this with all the new subscribers. The show's going well. Bam, bam. Doughboy Steve, I hope you have a lovely evening and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself watching the show and enjoy the Bears game. Whatever happens, you and I will be in the same boat. Be like, effing Jordan Love, stop throwing picks. Or you know what's going to happen? The Packers are going to get out to a nice 13-point lead, and then they're going to choke it away, and the Bears will win. And there'll be some controversial call that helps the Bears. Bam, bam, 714. Sounds like my favorite podcaster, journalist, Lions spokesman, next to coach, of course. Lions insider. Appreciate the hard work, Doc. Bam, bam. What I appreciate about you is you get it. Some people want to put a label on me. I'm just taking all the labels. They're like, yeah, are you this? Yeah. Are you that? Yeah. Are you an insider? Yeah. I am your favorite reporter, writer, insider, analyst, journalist, all the ists. They're like, what are you? Like, I don't even know. I don't like labels. I'm a podcaster, but that's why you put it first. That's what I am. Your friendly, trusted podcaster. I appreciate you, Bam Bam. How's your Saturday going? Man, a lot of you saying that DC is the bigger issue. What's your complaint about DC? What do you guys think about safety? Are you concerned? Average Joshua. That's a good question. Man, if you go back a year ago, if you can find it, I don't know. I should rehash it. I interviewed the current Saints strength and conditioning coach. I interviewed, and he said, "Listen, tough practices are what you want. You want tough practices because it gets the players ready." And so I looked at it and I said, "Oh wow!" But he did say that there's opportunities to get studies and do better in regards to how this operation is being better for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, but the injuries are a frustrating factor, aren't they? So frustrating because to key players too on the defense. It's so frustrating to see how the Lions have not been able to get ahead of it. It hasn't been great. It hasn't been elite, in my opinion. And I do think it's there's no one thing. There's no flaming gun. It's a combination of tough physical practices, which is true. The fact that the Lions play on Thanksgiving and then the week later they have a couple games where they got 4 days rest. That's not enough. The schedule's brutal, tough physical practices. But the reason why you're winning games is, remember, they're 8-6. They could be 6-8. They could be 5 wins. The reason why they win is Dan Campbell runs how football should be run, but it comes at a cost. There's no, you have your cake and eat it too if you're a Lions fan, average Joshua. Because guess what? You don't practice hard and everybody's healthy, you still get run over. You end up being 4-10. So it's crazy to think about, right? Average Joshua. He has to run tough practices. He has to get these guys gritty. The Lions, this group loves practicing that way. But I do think that just as I think just a new idea, new training, new methods, maybe could help this team. Who doesn't like advancements? You're telling me these are the best of the best and there's nobody better? You got to search high and low for everything, every edge you can get, even if it's 1%. And guys, too, all the community listening in, take care of yourself. The flu's going around crazy in Metro Detroit. Everybody, bam, bam, average Joshua, take care of yourselves. What are your thoughts about Kerby Joseph? Now, this is the one that I think might get the most reaction. Can you believe it wasn't me? I didn't think it because I do think that he's got value, but a free press columnist, you know who it is. You can put his name in the chat. You know who it is. Put out a column and said, well, we're not using him. Let's trade him. He can't get the rock on path for career lows in carries and snaps. Let's trade him. Wow. What are you guys' thoughts truly, honestly, about David Montgomery? I think clearly the reason why the Lions have not used him is Jahmyr Gibbs is an elite running back and has been a player that's emerged. You want to get him the ball. Basically, it's David has now come, and Dan Campbell said, I think about it a lot, but I don't think he thinks about it to the degree he thinks about Jahmyr Gibbs. He's like, Jahmyr's a superstar. And you have to look, the perspective is, look at what the Saints did. They gave Alvin Kamara the football. But if you dissect it, they also gave Mark Ingram the football. But Mark Ingram wasn't the star. It was Kamara. But you know what? Guys, look at David Montgomery's cap hit. Next year, he's going to have almost a $9 million cap hit, which is like a top 12, 15 type running back, but he's going to have very low production. You might have to restructure or you might cut him because teams are going to know your cap situation. I don't think you can get a third round pick for him. I think other general managers know that you're going to be in cap peril. You might just cut him. But then, people push back and said, Doc, that sounds crazy. You just gave him an extension. But guys, you got to pay Branch. Maybe that goes away. Laporta, Campbell. Who do the Lions need? David Montgomery. Can you get a bruising back in the draft that's a little bit cheaper? So my thoughts are mixed. And also, if you're David Montgomery, do you want to sit back and be the B guy? You're competitive. And listen, guys, there is no chance that David Montgomery is going to come out publicly and be like, I'm mad. But I think the question we should ask is, has David Montgomery come to your office and talk to you about his situation? Maybe that's something I ask next week. Because listen, sometimes I think in the media we get a little too hung up on the obvious. Like a reporter, I mean, it's a good story to get it on record, but do you guys think the Lions are happy playing on Christmas? A reporter got, Penei Sewell is unhappy playing on Christmas. Yeah, I'm unhappy typing on Christmas too. I got to be sitting there going like this. Give me some bourbon. All right, one little sip. Okay, that's all I can have. I got to start writing. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, come on. My family's going to be like, you really got to type? I'm like, yeah, I got to put it together stories. But I'll have a little sip every couple hours. So if you see a typo on Wednesday, Thursday next week, please forgive the doc. I will be with family. There will be noise. There'll be kids everywhere. Who knows? You'll be like, oh my God, I think Doc is in trouble here. See all the sentences all blurred together. But I mean, it's common sense. Yeah, the players are not happy working on Christmas. Nobody is. But you just go do it. You're paid. And guess what? You fly back home Friday, celebrate in your crib. So go to work. I don't care if you're upset. I got to work. You got to work. Do any of you care? Like, are you guys upset that the Lions are playing on Christmas? I got to work. I got to follow it. Kind of sucks, but it's like a 20% annoyance. Dude, watching football keeps me away from Uncle Ali. Uncle Ali's like, did you hear? Oh, man, did you hear that female Lions reporter got blown up in space? I'd be like, what? I'd be like, this is AI. Nobody got blown up in space from the Lions. Did you hear? Did you hear the Lions sold it for $20 billion to Mr. Beast? I was like, what? Like, No, and then you know what I do, which is funny, is I'll say, "Did you read it on Lions on SI?" They'll be like, they'll start stuttering. I don't read, dog. I don't read. I don't read, dog. I don't read you. 15 minutes ago, it did come out. Christian has it now. If you want the finer details of what the Bears game means to the Lions, it's now up. I'm going to post it here. Just give me 1 second. What Bears game against Packers means specifically, win, loss, what it means. It's now on Lions on SI. You got to root hard, guys, for the Packers. And remember, give Christian and Vito a like. They do good work. I'll put their stuff on X where you can find them. And Emmett, he's keeping you in the loop regarding these college football playoffs, regarding who to follow. He has that. I saw him today. Let me tell you, Emmett is a good dude. He saw my media seat and he saw I was there. He came down and welcomed me and said, "Hey, this is where you're sitting." Good dude, nice dude, and he filled me in on some stuff on Michigan State basketball, football, and we learned that. Hey, little shout out to Doc. We poached Alabama. How smart are we? And so you guys need to know. I'm announcing the Spartans are on the come up. You heard? Yeah, right. You guys know who wrote it. What did you think, Kevin, of the column? He points to the notion if you can get something, maybe do it. Should the Lions trade? It's just hard to say, right? It just feels like Dan wants to say, like the truth serum from Dan would be, hey, I'm not telling you our game plan. We're just going to use David Montgomery, but we're not going to tell you when we use him. Like, I feel like there's some scheme specific type stuff, but I mean, David Montgomery got less than 5 carries in the second half against the Rams. They were behind. I just feel like it doesn't have to be 50-50, but I feel like the number should be David Montgomery should get 10 to 12 and Jahmyr Gibbs should get 15. Don't you think? Why are the Lions not using them? Is it because the offensive line can't get the physical block and then everybody's always in the backfield and Jahmyr is a little bit more speedy and the zone running scheme fits Jahmyr better? But guys, here's what I think, and I'm negative. So I could be biased. I think that the Lions run scheme is not exotic because I compared it to what I saw with the Rams and it was completely different. The Lions are just, zone run concept, zone gaps, very good from the past. They used a little bit about what Ben Johnson did, but I don't think it did anything to the degree that the Rams did. The Rams were able to get to the second level. They were able to be athletic. It felt like they had more juice. And when you looked at the film, it looked like the running backs had a couple options to choose. Like if they didn't need to go left based on the blocking, they could go right. They had a couple more options to get into the open gaps. The Lions don't seem to create that. So I said last week, steal the Rams concept. It looks good. Sean McVay schemed it up good. And guys, it's not, the blocking scheme is up to Hank Fraley, but it's also up to John Morton. I think that they haven't done a good enough job in the run game in terms of their scheming, the whole package. And I think it's putting against good teams, against bad teams, you're going to find holes and you're going to get into them. Against better teams, they plug up their gaps. They're better than you. Are you seeing that too? That's what I see on film. Why are we talking about David Montgomery? I feel like you have a commodity that you're not using. Murph, we're going to talk about the defense too. We'll talk about Kelvin Shepard. I should add the banner here. Yeah, I'll add the banner. But I talked about it too. I talked about Kelvin Shepard math. If David Montgomery was skinnier and faster, he'd be Jahmyr Gibbs. Kelvin Shepard texts me. Why are you concerned? If David Montgomery got more carries and got more playing time, he'd be Saquon Barkley. Signed, Kelvin Shepard. Okay. Okay, Shep. All good. We got you. According to Shep, David Montgomery, Saquon Barkley, if he could run for 2,000 yards. Hashtag Shep math. Thanks, Shep. He's like, he's texting me now. Why are you talking about David Montgomery? If he was 6'1" and a little bit taller, he'd be Terrell Davis. Shep logic. I thought that the Lions last year used David Montgomery better. But okay, the big thing is, I don't know why we didn't follow up in the media. Dan's like, I think about it a lot. Well, can you get him some more carries? Stop thinking, start doing. Wouldn't it be nice if the Lions had somebody in charge of the offense calling plays to call number 5's number? Wouldn't that be something? It's how I look at it. It doesn't have to be more, but I know people are saying, well, he's only down like 50 carries. That's a lot of carries. People are like, what? You know what? I'm going to start calling it Peyton math. Oh, he's only down 50 carries from last year. Nothing. What's the big deal? You know who Kelvin Shepard. Have you guys ever seen Mike Payton and Kelvin Shepard in the same room? They might be the same guy. and I like Mike. I like the guy truly. But oh my God, I follow him and I don't know why his stuff keeps popping up on my feed. I know why I follow him, but oh my God. Not a big deal. Lions lost 8-6. Not a big deal. We're winning 3 in a row. Not a big deal. I bet you Shep follows Mike Payton. He's like, I like that guy. What's the big deal? Nothing's happening here. What's everybody talking about? The David Montgomery thing is overblown. Like, Mike, we're talking about his usage. The fact that Dan Campbell came out and said, why did I write a column or a piece on Lions on SI that said, is the Steelers game David Montgomery's final game at Ford Field? Dan Campbell said it can't be hard when his role is reduced. The next day, columns come out. Are you ignoring the stuff that's being said? Dan Campbell said it's hard for him. His role is reduced. Mike Payton, nothing to see here. David. He's got 50 less carries. He's not impactful. He's not doing anything. Why are columnists writing about David Montgomery getting traded? Why is his colleague going to David Montgomery and asking him, hey, about your role? He's like, it's hard to, and David Montgomery's a pro. He's like, we got Ja, we got Amon-Ra. And also, when J-Mo eats, David Montgomery don't eat. And you don't have Sam Laporta. So these are things to talk about. There's nothing overblown about the David Montgomery situation, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, it's a worthwhile topic, and I think that's why you guys are commenting about it. How do we solve this? You guys got to help me. How do we solve it? It's not overblown. It's not. And listen, if you're talking football, and listen, everything's analyzed to the nth degree. We talk about it. We got content to talk about. We got things to talk about. And I think the David Montgomery situation is part of the reason why the offense has scored points, but I think ball control, it could help out. It could have helped out maybe, instead of Ja on 2nd and 15, you give it to David Montgomery on first down. I don't know. Is it overblown? Am I wrong? Are you guys like, why would you take away content? Why would you take away touches from Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. Murph is all about BH Brad Holmes getting X'd. Murph GFX, not extending Brad Holmes would be a great start. I respect you, but he's done a good job. I do think he'll learn from his mistakes. What bot? They're seriously missing Rag now. Decker is hurt and older. Graham was a backup 2 years ago, now starting. Basically rookies everywhere else. So you're like, listen, the offensive line is not helping the cause. Yeah, I can agree with that. I could see where that comes in. So now again, if you're hyper focused on the Chicago Bears and what their loss or win means this tonight, it's on the site, Lions on SI. Broski Bear. And please give me a thumbs up that you're not mad at me. Most people will say, Doc, it means kind of like using my government name. You're using my government name? What? No, I'm kidding. You call me whatever you want. Doc, John, Mr. John, whatever, idiot, whatever you want to call me. John, one thing, and I'll say it like that for effect. John, one thing about this run scheme is tight end blocking is very, very important, especially with the more exotic schemes. So maybe they're feeling the loss of Laporta and Wright in that regard. It's not a so maybe. We need that 13 personnel up in Detroit, up in here, and you don't got it. Dear NFL, for 2 weeks only, can we steal Darnell Washington for the Lions? Can we just steal one player from every team that we face and put him on the Lions? I want Darnell Washington. Do you see how? Now, listen, he's not going to hurt you in the air. Do you see what a monster he is? You turn on his tape. Heaven help Penei Sewell and, heaven help Aiden Hutchinson and the likes. And Al-Quadin Muhammad and Marcus Davenport. That boy is huge. That boy huge. He's a power forward. Should the Lions now, outside of what the solution could be, is tomorrow at 4:25 the last time I'm going to see David Montgomery in Ford Field? I think it's 40%. Do you bring him back, or do you say, you know what, we could go younger and more powerful? Do you guys think the Lions should do more 2 running back sets? Get them both on the field and see what happens. Will in Detroit, great to see you. First time I'm highlighting you. Hope to see you more. Also think we should put an emphasis into Ja being a short slot outside receiver. They've done that a little bit, maybe even more. Dan Campbell has told Holmes that Gibbs is not a complete back who can get yards through contact. Let's play him to the max and then trade him while his value is high. Oh, my goodness. You're not trading Gibbs. He is getting keys to wisdom. I think he's going to get $20 million this year. I think Brad Holmes is going to be like, the Detroit Lions have been eliminated from the playoffs 24 hours later. The Detroit Lions have signed Jahmyr Gibbs to a 5-year, $100 million extension. That is wild to put in. I respect it, but that's wild. It'll never happen. Remember, you hit the lotto. Oh, good luck, guys. Is anybody playing the lotto? 1.05 billion. What do you buy if you hit it? I got to tell somebody to buy some lotto tickets for me. Oh, my wife's out. I got to tell her how many tickets, how much money should I spend on the lotto? 50, 20, 30? Buy lotto. Please. $1.05 billion. If any of you win it in this chat, let me know. 200. Duncan's like 200. 200 is Christmas, bro. 200. Now, should the doc keep podcasting if I hit it? You know I will, but it'll look a lot different. It'd be like Dietrich first. I will literally broadcast looking like Cam Newton. I don't care. Feathers, boas. Look like Hulk Hogan one week with boas. Be like, I can't see your face. Be like, so what? You hear my voice. You'll be like, you literally have 2 people fanning you? Eating grapes? Be like, hold on. Be like, man, your shows are like 5 hours long. I'll be like, yeah, I'm just, be like, Doc takes so many, be like, all the comments will be, stop talking about yourself. It'll be like, stop eating grapes in your show. Broski, deal. If I win it, is it the Powerball that's 1.05 or $1.5 billion? If I win the Powerball, you can work for me. Deal. What are we doing with the $1.5 billion? Listen, not to make light, but I will never, ever, it's done deal. I told my wife, and, as we always say, God rest their souls, not to make light of it, but I will never, ever, the one thing I will never do, I'm never flying private, ever. Commercial for me with the people. Ever, I don't care. I don't care if I got $5 billion. I am never flying private, ever. I'll drive, I'll get a big RV, and I'm flying commercial Delta. That's it. First class. Me and the people. But I will have security. And they'll be like, excuse me, broski, you are not to get within 10 feet of Mr. Macaroon. He gets on last. Security, the common folk are getting near me. Excuse me. Right? Excuse me. Be like, Doc's turned off the chat. Be like, Doc has 4 listeners. Big M53. Doc, I appreciate your uninterrupted shows. It's nice. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's free flowing. It's casual. No, really, in the end, it's just me enjoying the opportunity to talk to you guys. That's what I love. And that's the YouTube show I want. I want to be the most interactive, do them the most, have the most fun, veer off a little bit, have the topics. But my joy is to see you guys comment and build a community amongst you people. That's what it is. I'm just the train conductor. I'm just the Uber driver. I'm your friendly Lebanese Uber driver here hosting the show. What do you guys want to talk about? Where are we going? Some of you say, hey, take us to hardcore football. Some of you say, take us to Powerball. We just go back and forth a little bit. Great to see you too. I try to tune in, but usually just lurk. Talking, potentially losing Monty lit me up. Of course. But listen, comment. It's fun. Drop one comment. Yo, I'm here. Where are you from? Listening from Detroit. Will in Detroit. Whereabouts are you? LCA? Apartments? 7 in Mount Elliott? 8 in Gratiot? East Point area? Dearborn? 300 people across 2 platforms. Smash the like button. You can become a member. Smash the emojis if you're in here. If you're a member, there's 100 memberships. There's 100 members in this group. That's awesome. Southwest. You know what? Dolo Dynamite. Win $1 billion. I'm flying Spirit. Me and the people flying Spirit. Be like, Doc, why are you flying Spirit? I don't know. My people are there. I want to see some of these Spirit fights. Be like, Doc, the well-known podcaster got in the middle. Like, is that Doc stopping these fights? I'm going to go on the Carnival cruises and I'm going on Spirit. I'm going to be the referee. I'm just be like, what is this Arabic fool doing with the whistle? I just want to be like, doesn't anybody know how to stop all this chaos? It feels like to me, I'm as a problem solver, as a psychologist, you see all these, kerfuffles. One person just needs to walk in with a whistle and blow it as loud as you can. People's ears will stop. As loud as you can. All these fights stop. 3 people blowing a whistle at the high, like something that pierced someone's ears. Like, ah! Everyone's trying to do the mace and everyone's pulling out their phone. I feel like just be like, or just stand there and blow the whistle and get on video. Be like, we have this mega brawl. It's got 5 million views. Who's this Arab idiot blowing a whistle? I'd be like, that guy won $1 billion. You're like, he's choosing to stand in a carnival thing, blowing a whistle in all these fights. Like, that guy's weird. I'd be like, honey, we're going on a carnival cruise. I'll be like, what? It'd be like, we went downgrade. We're going to Carnival and Spirit. I've flown on Spirit. Let me tell you, my ass hurt. That thing was uncomfortable. It was like literally sitting on a bleacher. Listen, guys, let me give you free advice. My sister flies on Spirit. I'm like, sis, don't fly on Spirit. Just upgrade a little bit. It's cheap and it's not comfortable. I literally felt like I was sitting like this and it was literally like the hardest chair I've ever sat on. I don't care. You can't do discount flying. You just can't do it. Just save up, take one less flight a year and go to Southwest. Southwest at least had a cushion. In my humble opinion. What do you guys think about David? Thumbs up, thumbs down on a trade. Yes or no? This week, we're gonna start giving some flowers. This week, Aiden Hutchinson got praised by Aaron Rodgers. He said, man, he's a generational talent. I was like, wow. I'm like, here in Detroit, it's not viewed that way. He said it's on his way to be a generational talent. I said, man, Detroit doesn't view him that way. Man, I'm gonna have to go get the lotto tickets myself. My wife didn't. I thought my wife left. She's still here. Get those lotto tickets, everybody. This community, everybody go out and get your $5 lotto tickets. But oh my God, did you guys hear the lotto ticket? I never complain, but I think one of these tickets $5? I can't remember which one it was, but I walked back and I said, I want 2 mega millions, I think. And they're like, the lady came back and like, they're $5. I was like, I'm like, $5? $5? For one? I said, honey, I think I'm going to have to retire. And I played a lot of lotto. I'm like, I have to retire. $5 for one ticket? FML. Inflation, right? Every sack that Aiden gets, it costs like the Lions $1 million. Every sack that Aiden gets now, he's at what, 10 sacks? Is $4 million. And you believe Myles Garrett has 21 almost? He's going to break the record. He could have 30. Kelvin Shepard math. Shep is texting me, Doc, if Aiden got home more, he'd have 40 sacks. So he's worth it. Every sack is really worth $1 million. But Shep, he's only got 10. You know who asked him? All you Sparties, you know who asked him about Sharon Moore. I'm telling you guys, it was weird. Like, I just wish there was one more of like me, like another bulldog in there. Because I feel like I'm sucking all the air out of the room. Like, I feel like I'm a party pooper when I go there. But they had to be asked. Almost got 1 million views on it. You have to do it. You have to do it, but you feel bad too, because I am a human. Let me ask you guys. I'll ask the community here fairly. I should have asked Aiden about Sharon Moore, right? But you knew I wasn't going to pass on that. Aiden, what was your first thoughts about Sharon Moore? And he's like, no comment. Now, the only reason why that gets asked is because he obviously went to Michigan and Jim Harbaugh did talk about it publicly on the radio. And I went to state. You don't think I'm going to ask that for the peoples? Come on. I earned my Sparty card for life. Doc asked Aiden about Sharon Moore. I have to. It's my job. But man, you guys, some of you didn't like it. Now, a couple of you, I will apologize because I lied. A couple of you on X said, what idiot asked that question to Aiden Hutchinson? And I replied to them, I don't know. It's like, typically, if the X, and I don't want to laugh at people's intelligence, but typically, if I asked Aiden Hutchinson about Sharon Moore, I don't think the comment should ever come, who asked the question? John Macaroon is controlling Detroit Sports Podcast, me. So I typically post what I ask. So the guy said, what idiot post? I said, I'm sorry, I have no clue. And I used a GIF. I typically never lie to people, but when it's really, I was going to use a bad word. When it's really ridiculous, I will just bold-faced lie on there. Who posted that? I said, I don't know. Who? I'm like, it's in the comment, bro. It's like, I asked Aiden about Sharon. Was that wrong of me? I don't know. I feel bad because, you don't want to open that up, but unfortunately he went there. You got to ask. I can't look at myself in the mirror if I don't ask. I feel like I'm not doing the true job of a questionnaire. And of course I want to know, what's your first thought? I think if you guys listen, they cut it out, which I did not really like in terms of censorship, but that's what it is. They didn't air it, but I did. Oh, Broski Bear, Mega Millions are 5, Powerball's 3. Oh my God, $5! I can't believe it. Lotto tickets $5, $3. Oh my God, okay. After this, I'm gonna go visit my 5 friendly Arab liquor store owners, and we're gonna have a consortium. I'm gonna be like, bring that price down now. Call your people, get your lobbies, call your oil people, bring that down. We want dollar lotto tickets, period. I'm going to call the 5 Arab leaders that run all the oil stations and the marathons and be like, hey, we need a consortium right now. I cannot turn those machines off. Turn those machines off. We cannot. This. I can't believe I'm airing that. Mega Millions are $5. Right? Who asked Aiden that? It's a fair question, right? It's just hard because it's a tough question when they give a no comment. You know, it's something there that they don't want to talk about. It does suck all the air out of the room. It sucks the fun out of, but I waited till at least the end, I think, like 3 minutes in. About our run defense, we asked him about run defense. We asked him a couple things, and then I just needed to get that question in there. And typically what happens is, thank you, we're done. They end the media session. I think it could have kept going. Nice, Kevin. You are a humble, kind person. When I win, I'll give you a $100,000 super chat. If that's legally binding, it's on the air. Do you think, in all seriousness, okay, here's my thing. And I'm saying this seriously. Obviously, it was a great joy to watch Kenneth Walker run all over Aiden Hutchinson. It was a great joy. I was there in the stands when Michigan State beat when Mel Tucker, when he defeated Michigan and Kenneth Walker scored 5 touchdowns. That was a nice day. I think it was 2021. That was a nice day to see that. But I was always okay with Aiden being a Lion. Number 2 pick, I thought he was going to be good. Now my perception's changed because my heart tells me I feel like he's going to get 15 sacks a year. I feel like he has the potential for more. You build around him. I feel like it kind of is that wait and see. And then when he turns like 26, 27, like when he gets to 26 to 30, I think you're going to get a lot of sacks. But is he worth $48 million? I feel like he's worth 35. I feel like the number, and of course, the Middle Eastern in me is like, I want 40 sacks and I want to pay $10 million. His agent be like, we don't want to negotiate with you. But okay. Let's be fair. He doesn't have to give us 40 sacks. He gets chipped. Okay, I want 20 sacks a year and we'll give him 30. They'll be like, 20 sacks a year is worth 50. I'd be like, no. Listen, he might get hurt. Listen, I might do some tough arbitration. Listen, there's some allegations here that allegedly we hear about some things at Michigan. I don't know if they're true. We don't care. Allegedly, well, there's some things here. You were part of it. You were around it. Maybe you heard something. You whispered. Maybe in the locker room, you all were naked. We heard some things. But I don't know. That Counter Stallions, you were around it. Allegedly. So we're going to pay you 25. And don't argue with me. Be like, man, that guy's a nasty negotiator. Be like, listen, we need you to produce more. We need a little bit more. And you feel bad saying it, but you feel like you need more. Like you want the generational talent. I know it's a year after the leg injury. I feel like it's kind of it was a serious injury. So you're going to get the most out of him next year. You still got 2 years to get the $50 million. That's when it kicks in. So you still got time to get him cheap. But I feel like he is good, upper level good, but I'm not seeing generational talent. I feel like he's really, really good, which is not a knock. Generational talent, to me, looks like Myles Garrett. Just shows up there and just triple, double team him, 20 sacks. It's just 20 sacks because he's built differently. He's a bull. We want that. And I feel like we're underappreciating what he actually does bring. I'm getting texted by Kelvin Shepard. Doc, technically speaking, he only has 10 sacks, but really he has 30. In our book, signed Shep Math, Kelvin Shepard. Like, I don't see the 30 sacks. He's like, he's got 1,000 pressures. Like, I don't see 1,000 pressures. Kelvin Shepard says if he didn't get chipped, he'd have 1,000 sacks. Like, okay. Shep Math is in full effect this evening. Shep says that Aiden would get 30 sacks a year if he didn't get doubled. What do you guys think, honestly? Like, what's the fairest way to, because in the end, you do feel like you're always like changing the goalpost on Aiden. Well, he's I think good enough for where he's at right now, but at the same token, Chicks dig the long ball. Football fans dig the sack. And I get it. I respect that from you guys. Ask for more. But I feel like we're going to get it next year. But it sucks for this year. Too many games against good teams where the opposition has figured it out. Throw to the other side and get the ball out in 2 seconds. We don't have to worry about Aiden. Well, if good teams, then why are you paying a defensive end? Why don't you just play more zone and maybe get more of an athletic? Like, you hate to say it because you still, why don't you get a more athletic defensive end that can drop back in coverage at times? Do you need a bull if the best teams are going to get the football out in 2 seconds on you? Not every team, the bad teams. Also, Myles Garrett racks up some sacks against some bad offensive lines. So you tell me, how do you feel about Aiden? What's the fairest way? I feel like I don't know what the fairest way. I'm clearly biased, but I am a Sparty that roots for the Lions, that, I think that he's, and my heart, maybe because I'm a Lions, I'm there, I feel like he's got 20 sack season in him, but not for a couple years. Oh, broski, he's the same player as Montez Sweat. See, is he ever going to get, the big question is he ever going to get on the JJ Watt level? Yes or no? All right, put it on the table. We philosophized. Remember, Spartan Nation. And what's true is nobody's ever said anything, but I do wear this to the media sessions all the time. I've worn it for 2 years. A Michigan State band and a Tigers band, not a Lions band. But this, and I'll tell you why I wear it for those that don't know. It's just a humble reminder that you serve the purpose of being appreciative of what Michigan State gave you. It turned me from a boy to a man. It sure did. I went there a boy. I came out a man. And then the Tigers, the great memory of the sacrifice my mom made to buy tickets and to learn how to get downtown from East Point. For her, it was a big deal. So that's why I wear it. She took me to Tiger Stadium when I was 8. And she had no clue how to get there. I'm talking about, we maybe stopped at 5 gas stations. How do I get to Tiger Stadium? Okay, you make a left here. I'll never forget it. This poor little old lady trying to get me to Tiger Stadium because she knew I loved it. Never forget it. So, and I wear it. Nobody's ever said, why are you wearing fan bracelets? So, and it's also, too, just in case Aiden sees it, he'll be like, just a friendly little reminder, there's some Spartans up in here that represent the media. K9 and Jaden Reed are Spartan dogs. Hell yeah, they are. I've had Kenneth Walker on my fantasy team every year. And Jaden Reed, but he's always hurt. That sucks. I'm salty. Hutch needs to dominate tight ends when blocked by one, and I've seen more than once they can't block him, no problem. Okay. Maybe this game too. Rodgers is a statue-ish. This is one of those games. Go white, James Willis. That's right. You're Spartan representative. Of course I was going to represent. You can never you got Spartan blood in you. You bleed green. If you bleed green, you bleed green. Oh, sorry. But you got to ask it. It's not out of the realm of, you got to ask it. You went to Michigan. That happened. And Jim Harbaugh talked about it. Called it a tragedy. Kelvin Shepard texts me. If Sharon Moore didn't have DMs, he'd be a legendary coach. Shep logic. Okay. If Sharon Moore didn't use social media, he'd be Newt Rockney. Signed Kelvin Shepard. But he does have social media, and it was a problem, allegedly. Aiden Hutchinson, is he going to be generational? Aaron Rodgers gave him an ultimate compliment. 70% Hutch is about the average edge rusher anyway. He's clearly not himself 100%. Okay. I think the respect level is there, but you guys online criticize him a lot. Will, I think you make a good point. I think they wanted to lock him up because he was on that pace. I think Brad wanted to lock it in at 48 because it felt like the trend was if he was going to get to 20 sacks this year, it might have cost 50. There's a good ESPN article that kind of talked about the contract. It did get a little bit rough a little bit around the edges in the negotiation because Micah Parsons did. Brad Holmes probably personally off the record hates Micah Parsons. It changed the dynamic of the negotiation. And the agent said, yeah, the market changed. Brad's like, the Packers off the record. Brad's like, mofos. They changed the market on the Lions. It's in there. ESPN did a great article. Type it in, inside the Aiden negotiation. Great work. But I think they got him in at a good price. I just think the going price for quarterback and defensive end is too high. $60 million for a quarterback? What? You're paying Goff 50? They'll be like, you realize, guys, what's next is you'll know the league changed when there's a bunch of Arab, Middle Eastern general managers. I'll be like, the first one that gets hired, I'll be like, times are changing. They'll be up there and be like, I want to let you guys know why the market has changed. Paying quarterback $50 to $60 million is not in the best interest of the organization. And then I'll be sitting there right behind laughing my ass off. Like, why are you talking like that? Be like, we want different distribution of funds. Middle Eastern Macaroon says that quarterbacks should be paid 20 and they can get to 40 based on their touchdowns. When I see 50 touchdowns, I give him 40. When I see Super Bowl, he gets 50. When he gets 60, I give him Rolls Royce. What is this guaranteed money? We don't do guarantees here. This is your salary. We're considering hourly. This Middle Eastern general manager sucks. All the agents just walk out. He out here trying to get us to pay hourly rate for a quarterback. That's the change. The NFL, just wait. I might be a visionary. Be like, all these general managers are giving out way too much money. All these owners are like, wait a minute. There's something to this. We got to bring the salaries down. First Middle Eastern general manager, you know it's done. There's going to be a work stoppage because that MF is going to cut the salaries in half. I need incentives. All the contracts have incentives. This MF just all he does is incentives. Every 10 sacks for Hutchinson, another $5 million. Yeah. What is this? They are in league. They make no money. They get advertising. They make no money. They don't need salary. They come here. They build their brand. They build their House of Hutch off of us. What is this House of Hutch? He worked for the Lions. What is this House of Hutch? I'm sorry. My brain is now thinking, if they ever let a Middle Eastern run a team, they could walk in there slashing prices. What is this House of Hutch? What is this? 40 million for 10 sacks. We need 50 sacks for that. Oh my God. All of a sudden, Ahmed Hassanian gets $50 million a year. You are the coach and the player. What is this, coach and player? No, what is this, coach? Coach, you run defense and offense. I'll be like, this is the first Arab team that has one coach, and he's the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and the special teams coach. Him. Dan Campbell, you are the coach and the special teams and the manager and everything. Yeah, I do think, in all seriousness, the market for quarterbacks and defensive ends it might have blown out of whack. Could you imagine? You could downgrade to the Chinese model defensive end and save money. Oh, I love it, James. I've been a Spartan fan since the days of Andre Rison. Nice. James, real fast sidebar. We had Nick Saban. He wanted to build a legacy. They didn't want to pay the man the money. What does this pay? That's when they probably went to some advisor. What does this man think he is? He's going to leave to the NFL. He's Nick Saban. Who is he? What is this? He wants $4 million a year. What is this? That would be the big mistake. The Middle East manager is like, what is this, Dan Campbell? Let him go. Ahmed Hassanian can coach the team. I'd be like, Ahmed, aren't you a player? Why are you coaching the team? We do things different around here. Oh man. And listen, I can make these kind of jokes because I am Middle Eastern. And we know what we try to do out here. I want top of the line chit for $20. Top of the line, Class A chit. It's going to cost you about $5,000. I don't want to do that. I want a Class A chit, $20. You know, these vendors hate working with Middle Easterns. And I'll be honest, we try to find nickels to save. My God, our people are wild. Smart, though. Wild. Diligent. That's it, guys. Let's put it into the universe. Let's see if there's a Middle Eastern person that wants to run a team. You know the doc's going to start laughing. What do you guys think truly about Aiden? Is he worth 50? I'm not seeing 50 yet. We shall see. All right, last topic before I get out of here. The two topics before, a lot of topics, actually. What are your thoughts? How much money are you going to spend to get the $1.5 billion? Are you in any pools? What's the first thing you'd buy? You guys got to cheer hard for the Packers. They got to win. Kerby Joseph, what is your concern level on a scale of 1 to 10? And then Aiden Hutchinson. Is he worth $45 million a year, 48 on average? Let's give a shout out to Brent DeWitt, Broski Bear, MC3, Who Dat, James Willis. Smash that like button, all of you. Smash the emojis if you're a member. I'm Salty, Broski Bear, Will in Detroit. It's been a pleasure to talk to you and let's share some laughs. And guys, please, I'm Middle Eastern. I'm not being offensive. We're just having a laugh because we're nervous about the Lions and their season could be coming to an end soon, sooner than expected. We have laughs here. Don't take this seriously. This is uncouth at times. Appreciate you, Broski Bear. Hopefully you can have a laugh with me because you know you think it. Miss Sheila, this Brad Holmes, he wants raise. What is this, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell? Every time they have winning season, they want raise. Let's lock them in. We say, you make a little more money, but we need 15-year contract. Like, we don't do 15 years. Brad's like, we don't do 15 years. Well, how do I know you're not going to leave? You see the Rams, you see how do I know you're not going to go to the Patriots? How do I know you're not going to go to the Rams and take over your home with less need? We need 20-year contract. Like this MF wants me here for 20 years. Like, we lock you in at a good rate. Same number, 20 years. No more raise. No more negotiation. And we give you base salary. And if you win a Super Bowl, big raise, big bonus. Exactly. Find out how much grit they have. You on bonus. Listen, new structure. No guarantee. Every win worth money. And you must wear jersey every game. Stop with the suit. Stop with the grit. Wear line jersey. They more expensive. Your grit shirt only cost us $20. Jersey, $200 every game. Like Dan's wearing like a jersey, a new jersey every week. He's wearing a golf jersey. Dan Campbell wears the uniform and has all logos all over it. And be like, we got the Middle Eastern guy up in here. That we found him. Be like, you have all this space for advertising. Why is this stand? Why is your stand all white? Nothing on it. We have Mobil, Marathon, Exxon, Emirates. What is this all white panel you talk on? Nothing on it. First things first, we know Emirates, Marathon, Mobil, all on the podium. What is this all white podium? Nothing on it. What is this? Your shirt had no endorsements. Oh, it went from Aiden to how a Middle Eastern would bring down the cost of an NFL team. That's what you get here. Oh man, because I thought it, and you know they would think it. Last topic here, last couple minutes, guys. We have to praise Jameson Williams. My goodness, he's become, and Amon-Ra's tired of talking about it, but he's become a true 1A, 1B type receiver. Dan said, and Jared said, he's only scratching the surface. What does that mean? Who can we compare him to? Is he on his way to be CeeDee Lamb? Give us the update, Mike. What's going on with Ole Miss Tulane? I was done after I watched the Miami game on the side from LCA, and whew, that was tough. That was tough to grind through, but they got it late, the interception. What's the score? You're like barn burner. Oh, that's a nice definition. That's why I think a lot of people are going to tune into the game tonight. What? Ashley Madison's going to get work tonight too. James Madison, excuse me. Freudian slip. Excuse me. James Madison's going to get the same, probably taken out to the woodshed too. Absolutely. J-Mo really matured this year and pulled off a bunch of clutch plays. I think he's on his way. He put in the work. That's why I think that relationship is still going to be there with Jared Goff. You guys are going to restructure Jared Goff. So J-Mo, Amon-Ra, and Goff. That's why I think even though this year will be harsh and the criticism should be real, someone I spoke to today, a media member I respect that went to state, I said, this year's kind of been difficult, but I kind of have a feeling like next year they can rebuild. Like, they can get the line better, a year of development. And I think truly, now that I sit back and I'm being honest here, if you gave Holmes and Campbell true serum, like they would say, of course, 2 new coordinators, a reshuffling offensive line. We lost Frank Ragnow. It was this year was a transitional year with the hopes that next year is the aggressive year. I truly believe that. Think about it. Aggressive-ish, in my opinion. I think that this was a transitional year. And next year, another year of Gibbs. You reshuffle another year of Miles Frazier and Tate Ratledge. Hopefully, the problem lies, though, and it's true, okay? And we're going to talk about J-Mo, but a real quick sidebar here is the criticism that Brad Holmes is going to face is, even though you had all those injuries, and nobody hits on everybody. Nobody does. You always have to give the caveat. Nobody hits on everybody. But the longer you're here, the misses for Brad Holmes have started to rise. Mekhi Wingo, not playing. You trusted Al-Quadin Muhammad, a veteran, and Marcus Davenport. Mekhi Wingo's a draft pick, one player. That could be a cornerback that you need, or another safety. Hendon Hooker. I want to say this. Fans are allowed to play if we didn't draft Hendon Hooker, we could have had this. But TJ Lang put it out there publicly. If the Lions didn't draft Hendon Hooker, they could have had Kobe Turner. And all the fans quickly, within 20 seconds, were like, all the other teams waited 3 rounds too. All the other teams. I don't care about the other teams. I only care invested in one team. One, the Detroit Lions. I don't care if all the other GMs suck and they blow and don't know how to put together an organization. I only need one to hit. You can't pass on Kobe Turner. You just can't. Now, it's not my job to know that Kobe Turner is going to be, but Les Snead knew. Ish. The Lions could have had Puka Nacua on this team. You can't miss. First of all, it's not also who I know needs and things like that. And maybe Isaac Tesla becomes that when he gets one more year under his belt. But Puka Nacua had 1,000 yards his first season, or close to it, or had a legendary rookie season. Legendary. You guys can pull up the stats. Someone pull up the stats for Nakua's rookie year, and there was a lot of them. They looked juicy as a rookie. So, Hendon Hooker, Broderick Martin, Giovanni Manu, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, Mekhi Wingo. That's 6 guys. Let's say you get 2 of them to play. Let's say one of them's Kobe Turner and Aiden Hutchinson. You don't think that would look nice? The misses, the guys, 21, 22, 23. 21 and 22, when Brad had high draft picks, legendary Class A chit. Good stuff. Good stuff. But and it is naturally harder when you're starting to draft in the 15s and the 20s. And you're starting to, have to figure stuff out. Broderick Martin. You're also giving up capital to make these moves. You gave up capital. You gave up capital. Now he recoups it. He moves around. He likes to play around in the draft. But there are a lot of misses. And there's a couple guys you could have had on this roster given your position. You didn't need to draft Hendon Hooker. I mean, I know people said that. You need a competition, but you could have found somebody and you need players. Depth, especially knowing like after last year, I feel like taking developmental projects won't happen again. But because you did that in 23, Hendon Hooker, Broderick Martin, you took them. They were very raw players. Those are two players that could have been depth pieces now. There's a lot of whiffs. And it didn't help you this year. How punitive is it going to be? You need those guys to start contributing. The 24-25 class, the early returns are very, very shaky, and people are noticing. The whiffs you had in 23 are a problem. You don't take developmental players. If you didn't take Giovanni Manu, you just took somebody else that was more ready to make to play. You could maybe give Taylor Decker a spell for 2-3 weeks. The guy can come in and develop. 2-year red shirt for a lineman? It typically doesn't work like that. Now, maybe Manu will be somebody that's going to be a player. How does that help? How does that help 2025? How does that help? That's a lot. That's 6 players right there. Let's say you get 2 of them. That's 2 more players that could help. And it's Rakestraw. You can't have 2 years of non-production. You just can't. You just can't. It's not a criticism. It's a point blank on your record. The depth that you're supposed to have that you covet is not there because you missed in the draft. That's why you're in this position where this is why you're there, because you don't really covet external. So then you have to hyper examine the draft. Remember, guys, okay, the fan base and the slappies of the world, if you say that you draft and develop and you bypass external options, then you have to hyper examine the draft. But then you can't say everybody misses. See, that's where the slappies, their formula crumbles. You can't say, well, the average general manager misses 50%. Then why are we hyper focusing on the draft where the risk is 50%? The SOL crowd and the demand crowd is like, use those picks not to move around for more picks. They're risky. Move those picks for players that have shown that they can ball. See, just stop moving around the draft to go, I want to move up 40 spots to get a player that you're going to redshirt. Move up 30 spots to pick a baller. That's it. That's a philosophical shift. So the slappies can't have it both ways. They're like, no. Brad gets a pass. No general manager hits on everybody. But the Lions have said, we hit on people. We're building this. We built this city on the draft. So then when we start to say, Hendon Hooker, Broderick Martin, Giovanni Manu, Ennis Rakestraw, Mekhi Wingo, that's a lot of players. That's a lot. And now the Middle East general manager in me goes, what does this Brett Holmes, all these guys be paid, they sit? What is this? They sit 2 years, they don't do nothing. What is this? They run around and block. Throw him the goddamn ball for touchdown. You know how much Tesla jerseys sell if we score touchdown? $300. Throw my man from Hope touchdowns. Maybe they do need a little bit more of a dictator type general manager. Dollars and cents. What is this? We sit these players 2 years. We need rings. You're costing us rings, man. You're costing us money. The Lions Forbes are the 30th ranked franchise in value. My franchise 30th. Cowboys always $20 billion. What does this Jerry Jones do different than us? Lions are the 30th most valuable NFL franchise. Super Bowl would put them right in the middle of the pack. It's a fact. So that's why I think you guys that critique are right. You guys have said the draft is the holy grail. That's what the Lions have said. Draft, develop, sign. Oh, no. All those whiffs, it happens. You see how the Slappies changed the game? Then they say, we changed the game. They changed the game. They moved the goalposts. We're just saying, you told us the draft is the holy grail, that this is what he's good at. He's a college scout. But in the end, it's still 50-50. So maybe take some of those picks and get some dogs. Play the draft for talent pool game. Call up players that can ball. Sione Vaki is going to play. Maybe he's going to, I mean, theoretically, I think that's what's supposed to happen. But I think theoretically that may be the plan. But if you can't stay healthy, you can't trust it. But before I get out of here, I'm going to be out of here in 5 minutes. Thank you for going on this journey this evening. I think it was a good journey. It was a very entertaining journey in my mind. It did veer off a little bit, but thoughts entered my mind that I think I wanted to say. But Jameson Williams has impressed. Dan Campbell's proud of him. He's also now Amon-Ra doesn't want to talk about JMO anymore. He's like, JMO's arrived. Stop asking me. I asked him 6 weeks ago. But what we want to ask is what's changed? He's in and out of breaks faster. He's more in simpatico with Goff. He's actually breaking to the right pylon, the right marker, the right landmark faster. He's actually getting the ball in a spot where he can get yards after the catch. He looks like a CeeDee Lamb. Now you got to do it more consistently, and it'll happen. Unfortunately, it happened because you cut out David Montgomery from the equation, and Laporta got hurt. So who benefited? JMO and Saint. 80% of targets the last couple weeks. So one more year of offensive line development. You're going to need proven offensive linemen. No, listen, Mr. Holmes, no red shirts. Guys that played offensive line, maybe at Boston College, maybe at Ohio State. Linemen, big, beefy linemen that can block. Get those. Get your next left tackle. Get your or a left tackle to compete with Manu. Get your next competitive guard that's going to compete with Frazier and Ratledge. Keep competing. Maybe Colby Sorsdahl is the guy that comes back. You never know, but that's, hopeful. Build, and I think next year, if you nail this draft and you get some guys back, and a Rakestraw, it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs. But I'm more confident about 26 than I'm ever going to be about this year. Oh, Jeff Lammy's like, you can't leave. I just got here. Rewind it. You got a good 100 minutes. 100 minutes. It's a good show. This was a good show. This was a good one. We steadily grew. There's 500 people in here. Shout out to you, Jeff. That means a lot. But yeah, no, I got to go. I want to hang out with the kids a little bit in a couple hours before the ball game. That means a lot, Jeff Lammy. That's nice. But yeah, and there is a portion that I know you got to listen to it. We did the Middle Eastern general manager bit, and it's a good one. It's going to go right up there with my favorite bits ever. I don't know why I came up. We were talking about Aiden Hutchinson and his contract, and I veered way off into the Middle Eastern general manager bit, and it was really funny in my mind. Tell me what you think. Was the Middle Eastern manager bit funny or offensive? I think it's funny. The Middle Eastern general manager. I might bring it back in a couple months, or I might do that on a bigger platform. Merry Christmas, James Willis. Listen, what's the ceiling for JMO? Our last 5 minutes. What's the ceiling for JMO? CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase. Is he on the superstar level? And then just on a side note, just to rib the Michigan fans, you can't get Dillingham? Damn. The mighty have fallen. Dillingham, y'all, you played y'all. He played y'all like a fiddle. $7 million a year? Didn't even talk to Michigan, from what I'm hearing. Didn't even talk to Michigan. He played y'all like a fiddle. He's like, he know his agent was like, you don't give us this contract, we're going to go right to Michigan. And what is he, Arizona State or wherever he's at? They were like, $7.5 million. You can't get Dillingham. You guys might get stuck with Biff. I just think publicly Michigan should do the DeBoer thing. They should just make an offer. But to me, I'm not as thrilled. Like, you're at Alabama, you're racking up losses. I feel like DeBoer is good. Maybe he's Washington good, like not Alabama good, like not Nick Saban style. I think DeBoer's overrated, in my opinion. A little bit. But hell, I hope that new Alabama offensive coordinator comes in and lights up with the Spartans. From the Spartan perspective, we liked what he did with Penix, but we don't like what he's done with Jalen Milroe. So I'm like a little bit excited. Shout out, Phil. Always good to see you, Phil C231. Always good. Yeah, just on a side note, who do you think is the best option for Michigan, you Wolverines? I thought Dillingham was too young. I would think the Notre Dame coach might be someone you poach. Listen, Jim, let's be honest. There's no way that you can be a podcaster if you don't have some level of thoughts about yourself. Some. And we made a deal with the audience. 1 hour of content allows me 5 minutes to talk about myself, which is 0.005% of the show. So on this show, a good 10 minutes is fair. Come on. Ooh. Dolo Dynamite says Notre Dame's coach. I like it. Chris Carter. Interesting. Interesting, James Willis. You got a lot of good takes, my friend. I want to see you in the comments, and I want to see you more in here. That's good. You got good stuff. Brian, yeah, I agree with that. Do you think they add a new OC, or are they going to reshuffle with the coaching staff so Dan calls plays? Great question. I really feel like they're going to get somebody to call plays. You look at it, and that was my thought that I wanted to ask you guys last thought. I know I throw a lot out here, but it's just it's the roundtable that I asked Vito, and Vito and Christian are going to answer it from their perspective. Does Dan Campbell look weathered to you guys? Like he morphed into, he has a little bit of fun, but he's kind of morphed into a coach. He's kind of become, and I hate to say it, Brian, I don't know if you're a wrestling fan. And to me, I'm so into wrestling you see my signed belt from Cody Rhodes, NWO fan. Brian, I feel like Dan Campbell turned into John Cena, a little bit corporate, a little bit laid back, a little bit less of the jokes, a couple of like when Dave Burkett said, "Hey, you guys have been losing games after buys." He's like, "Well, thanks for that, Dave." But I think he's more like cliche and a little bit more like Bill Parcells. I feel like Bill Parcells stole our Dan Campbell. I feel like he had a talk with Bill Parcells, and he was like, he sat down with him and he had some bourbons, and he's like, "Yeah, man, the act is funny. We like your jokes. We like that, but you got to put on a public face that's more serious." And Dan Campbell kind of has become more, we got to correct things and we got to just get back at it. We're good. And he's used cliches to kind of brush over all the issues. But he does veer into the talk, but in cliches. He looks a little different. It's not the same vibe. Did I suck all the air out of the room with my first, like, oh my God, did I suck all the air out of Dan Campbell? Like, look at this idiot. He's complaining after one game. But he's become more cliche. I get it, but he's good at it. He's good at it. He's a pro. Listen, Dan Campbell is wicked smart. Recall for days, wicked smart. Listen, he can maneuver anything, and he can veer a perception of anything in any way. You can tell. He's a tight end, very smart, and very personable. You cannot help but like him, but he does look worn down. And he talks a lot more in cliches, like saying the same things over and over again. We got to correct it. I feel good that we just got to have a couple more plays. We got to win one-on-one battles. And it's like, we do get a couple good nuggets here and there, and he is truly honest, but there is some more cliche, and he does his demeanor at times looks a little tired. Like his doctor said, "Hey, those 2 coffees, you got to stop, man. You're 48 years old. You got at 49, you can only have 1 Starbucks." Jeff, yeah, I get it. I get it. You can't act like you're not a podcast. You're not putting on a show like me. You're not trying to be performative. You're not trying to be funny. but he physically looks a little depleted at times, especially after some tough losses and the schedule. I don't know. Is it just me? You guys have mentioned it in my comments, and I said the same thing. Yeah, 80-hour weeks. That life is tough. That's a tough life. Are you noticing it too? Has he changed? I asked Vito and Christian. See their answers tomorrow. That will be the headline. Teaser. The headline for the roundtable. The roundtable, if you want to know the onus of it, I asked the boys 5 questions. They answer it. We write a story. And all the questions are from me because I just like, hey, what do you guys think? So I gave you all I got. My voice is raspy. Wow. And hey, if I ever look that way, you tell me. You don't be like, hey, John, the show's dipped. You guys tell me, hey, your energy's not the same. What's going on? And I'll tell you what's going on because you know what's going on. You know why the energy was good this week for me? Show more action. Good week for me. We hit the quota. Yeah. So, yeah, if I ever look that way, you tell me, hey, Doc, the vibe's not the same. And I'll tell you, yeah, put in some hours, did this, did that. The headaches popped up back up again. The darn headaches. They pop up at the worst time. Those darn headaches. Not me. I never get headaches, ever. I've ever done, ever. Philly takes the lead, huh? All right, guys, that was a good 2 hours. That was fun. That flew by. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you, have some laughs. We talked today about, for those that hopped in late, go back and watch it. It's a good show. Check it in, get it in pieces tomorrow. We talked about why you got to root for the Bears to lose. The Bears must lose. Down go the Bears. Boo, Bears. Boo. Got to root for the Packers. Go, Pack, go. We talked about Kerby Joseph. Are you concerned about his future? He finally got put on IR. We talked about David Montgomery. Should he be somebody that gets traded? Is this it? Is tomorrow the last day I see David Montgomery and we see him at Ford Field? Aiden, is he worth $48 million? Is he going to be generational? Is he going to be morph into a Myles Garrett type production? And Jameson Williams, what's his ceiling? A lot of good topics. And then the side topics were really good. If you hit the lotto tonight, make sure you hit me with a nice $10,000 super chat for entertaining or hire me. James, that's the nicest thing you could say. You liked it, you subscribed, you're part of the community. Guys, last minute, hit the like button for me. Anytime you're seeing our stuff, just go through and like, mass like. That helps us keep our algorithm strong. Will in Detroit, great show. Hit the bell, and we'll tune in next time. Thanks for the inside info and other ways to think about our team. Absolutely. And Will, the number one rule is share your thoughts. I might be wrong. I might be jaded. I might be biased. Share your thoughts. It always matters. Don't feel ever that you have to go with the chat. Share your thought, whatever it may be. It may spark an idea that ends up changing our narrative. The experience to me is to talk to you guys, not at you. And if I ever act like that, please tell me. I'm a human. We get in our moods. We get in a slump. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go in a 2-week slump and you don't feel as good. Like today, full on, best I could do for you guys. And that's all I can bring you. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Lone Wolves Podcast. You can support us in a lot of different ways. Simple on X, the hub. It's like the call station. I post every time when the show is going to start. Typically, I'll hop in the chat. Here's the flow it's going to be. I'll say, hey, guys, let's check in around this time. Then the show will air on YouTube. You'll see it. Then there'll be like a 5-minute warning clock. And you can I'll throw in maybe what the topics are going to be. You can start the chat in the comments. And you'll have a couple times to see it. I'm doing it 3-4 times a week. I will tomorrow. Okay, 4:25 game. It'll end at 7:30. 7:30. I'll spend an hour in the locker room, so that's 8:30. I should be here around 9:15 in this spot. So if you wait for me, I got 2 hours for you. Probably 90 minutes minimum, maybe, recapping the game. I think it's going to be a win. And then tomorrow we got coverage starting at 6 a.m. Every hour we're going to have some content. 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll have content, videos, preview the game story. We'll do studs and duds, reaction on social media. Give our website a try. I think it's in the mix with the work that we do. si.com/NFL/Lions/on SI. Everything is posted on our X page. You can find it or find it here. Every post, I share the link. Jeff Lammy is a member. Absolutely. New member. That's great. Thank you for contributing. Hey, before we get out of here, Jeff, smash the emoji. You know what? You know now you got access to them. Smash the emoji, and then I'm getting out of here. Thank you for becoming a member. You're part of our community and a welcome member of our community. I know you like the shows, and I know that you're a part of it. So now you have access to the emojis, the member-only videos on demand. You can go through them at your leisure. You can see my thoughts, I think, on Jared Goff. I shared what happened with me and Kerby last week before the setback. So you have access to those videos. And now you got the emojis. Just those emojis are right there for you. In your comments, they're there for you. That's awesome. Man, it's going to be a fun time. Here we go. We need the Bears to lose. Packers must go. That's the way it goes. No, Jeff, the emojis. They're me, Hefe, and Booner. They're in the little thing there. You can see them. Smash them, baby. Use like 5 of them. 3 of me, 1 of Hefe. Use like 10 of me. I'm trying to get more, but the 3 I like right now. Me, Hefe, and Booner. There you go. There you go. Now, one more. Line them up. All of them. Let these people see what this community is about. They shared with me. Crunch Time shared my profile, and I shared theirs. They're good dudes. They're nice people. Good part of the community. So if you're a member, smash the emojis. And like I said, I'll do more work to bring more insider member-only videos. And right now we're almost at 105 subscribers. There you go. Even better. More. Listen, who's gonna lie? More Doc, more smiles. Thanks. Let's give the last roll call shout out. Brent DeWitt, you're very valued. It means a lot to me to see you. Jeff Lammy, it really does mean a lot when you say, hey, darn it, I came in late. I want to see it. Rewind the show. You're going to like this one. Middle Eastern General Manager is a good bit. It's a good one. Phil C, 231. Jeff Lammy. Will in Detroit. James Willis. Go green. We bleed green. I'm a Spartan dog. Oh, hey, it's Jessica. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Don't slide in my DMs, Jessica. It's not allowed. It's not appropriate. You think I've been getting more of that lately? No, but it sounds funny to say on the air. My DMs are closed. Dolo Dynamite, Brian L. Brian LaBeouf, 7363, very valued member. Terrell, appreciate all of you. Thanks to OnSI, and it's much appreciated that everybody came in. This has been the Detroit Lions Lone Wolves podcast, a production of OnSI, a great partner and willing to share and let creators be creators. And I represent the Detroit Sports Podcast, and I'm your friendly, trusted podcaster, insider, writer, journalist, reporter. All those things in a bag of chips. Let's go. Can't we talk to you guys tomorrow?